Oh, hi. My name's Pat Flynn. Sorry, I was just cleaning up my keyboard. Just like how we need to clean up our websites and YouTube channels sometimes. I don't know about that transition. It was going a little bit different in my head. Anyway, welcome to Saturday here. It is day 178 of the income stream. We are just 12 away from, 190. 22. I can do math, yo. It's the weekend. Hey, anyway, I'm here to help you and serve you. We are doing some website and YouTube channel critiques today, and I might review yours. We're going to survey from the chat here who wants to get their YouTube channel and or website reviewed, and we're going to clean things up a little bit. I'm going to give you what I'm going to look for after the intro. So let's play the intro right now. Let's do this.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream. All while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
You know what I remember about these when I was a kid? I remember flipping it upside down. You know what happens when you flip these things upside down? What? Don't waste things like that. It's probably not great for the environment either. So clean your keyboards, always a good thing to do, but we need to clean up our websites and YouTube channels as well, which is why we're here. So let's go over exactly what we're going to be looking for today. Also, by the way, if you're catching this video and the live stream for the first time, I've been going live for 178 days straight. Many of the people here that you see in the live chat who have green names, they're members. They've been here for since day one almost, and I just appreciate all of you. And even if you're watching for the first time, just make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And you don't need to be a member, you don't need to pay for super chats or anything like that. I'm here for free for you. Just if you'd like to offer support this month, we are offering support to teachers. I'm paying out of my own pocket, and any of the donations that come in will help teachers who are paying out of their own pocket to support their students this month. And we've already donated over $3,000 out of my own pocket and our own collective donations here to help teachers, and I'm going to keep doing it throughout the rest of the month. So anyway, thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you. Here's what we're going to be looking for. So I'm going to look at the chat in just a moment to see who wants to get their stuff reviewed and who we can kind of dive into and help out. And again, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of picked on random. But here's what we're going to be looking for. Number one, does it being the YouTube channel and of course our websites, does it tell me who this is for and what's in it for me? All right, this is really, really important. There's a lot of noise out there on the interwebs. So when we have people land on our page or finally come across our YouTube channel, we really need to help them stick around. And the best and ultimate way to do that is to immediately let them know that this is for them. And too often we either just have the brand name alone, which just alone doesn't do enough, or we don't utilize the space within above the fold on our webpage or the artwork on our YouTube channel to really describe what this is about. We have to make it obvious that, oh, there's some stuff that's going to be helpful for this particular person here. Now, the challenge is, okay, well, do you know who your target audience is? Do you know the language that they use? And is this something that you actually display in a place where people don't have to go and find it? It has to be something that's very apparent. On a YouTube channel, within a YouTube video, on a YouTube channel, on your website, you basically have less than 10 seconds to convince a person to stick around. If you have a podcast, it's a little bit longer. You have about a minute, but we don't have much time, so we need to really focus on that for sure. Next, number two, are you helping me know what to do first? Websites and YouTube channels are made up of a bunch of different pieces of content, and oftentimes, and in probably 99% of the cases, the order that you write things in is not the same order that you want people to consume that information, or it wouldn't be best for them to consume it in that way. There's likely things that happened sort of midway through that are actually better for people who are just starting out. Is it easy for people to find those things? I have, for example, on my podcast, episode 192, 193, and 194. That's when I got smart and said, you know what? I need some content for people who are literally just starting out. That's 192, 193, 194. What's up? Boris, thank you so much for the super chat today. I appreciate you, my friend. You are amazing. So we really need to understand, okay, what should people be seeing first, and are we elevating that and making it obvious? On a YouTube channel, how do you do this? Well, on your particular homepage of YouTube with the artwork across the top, you should have a playlist of, the things that people should see first. You should have a playlist of your most popular stuff because people want to see what other people are really enjoying. And you should also have a place for people to get started with doing certain things. On my YouTube channel, for example, you'll find that I have a how to start an email list row of videos in a playlist, how to start a podcast, how to start a business. And these are really helpful for people. On your website, it could be a start here page, or, watch this first, or something like that. So that's what I'm going to be looking for there. Number 3, how am I connecting to you versus others? This is where some of our personality or unique things can come into play. And whether it's right there on the homepage or within your content, in your writing style, in your video style, in your language, however you choose to do it, we need to have something that's a unique identifier to you. I want you to imagine people talking about your brand, your website, your YouTube channel, your work to other people. Your brand is, in fact, how people describe that to other people when you're not there. So I want you to fill in this blank if possible. Oh, I follow, insert your name, and their website or YouTube channel because they're the only ones that blank, right? So for me, when I first started, I really had to challenge myself on, okay, well, what is this exactly? So it took a couple years to understand what was really unique about me. You're not going to know this right up front, which is why it's important to just put yourself out there, even though you might not know exactly where you're going or what it is that you're doing. But I remember there was a point at which I help people who want to start a business, and I'm unique and people follow me because I'm really, really just a family guy. And a lot of people in the entrepreneurial sort of internet marketing space at the time that I started, it was very much lifestyle design, laptop lifestyle, go on the beach and build your business, get rich quick, like these kinds of things. So I purposefully went the opposite direction. So how are you, or what direction are you taking people that maybe is a little bit different and unique than what others in the same space have? This is very, very key. I know, for example, Boris, you have a podcast called The Destiny Show. You're not the only podcast about destiny. You're not the only resource, but you have some unique things about you. And I know that you can lean into those probably even more than you are right now. And I just want to encourage you to continue to do that as your brand continues to grow. I also know that you're doing this because in SPI Pro, you've announced a lot of your plans. And bro, I'm super stoked for you and really excited to see this be executed. So congrats to you. And I want to continue to encourage you to do that. Number 4, non-essentials and distractions. I just want to see, like, hey, is there anything here that really doesn't belong here, that doesn't really add value to the brand, the message, the uniqueness, the relationship that we're trying to build? The most common way and the most, it's not a bad thing, it's just something we all do. We add pictures and images on our blog posts and on our website. And oftentimes these images don't really matter, or they're just kind of stock images. And right now, stock images, you have to be very careful because they can almost come across a little bit like too easy or not as much thought put into something, right? Versus images where if you take it out, it like ruins the message. Those are the kind of images you want, ones that really support the message and the feeling and the emotion that you want to have on that particular page or part of that video. Number 5, specifically branding and design. How does the brand feel across all the different pages in the messaging, colors, fonts, not getting too crazy there? So I'm super stoked to dive into this, and we're going to start with Microgreens Entrepreneur today, somebody who I've connected with on Instagram, which is pretty dope. And I'm going to write down this as our first case study here. I'm just teasing you. Thanks, Brian. So I'm going to go to this website, and we're going to go through the list, and I'm just going to give you my first offerings of my first impressions, things that I like, things that I don't like. I just want to say up front that any of the critiques I offer are obviously my own opinion, and it's based on 12 years of doing this and being an online entrepreneur for that long. But at the same time, I'm here to help. I want to be honest. I want to be brutally honest, but I'm not a drill sergeant. I'm more of a, I think we should improve this, or what might we do differently here versus like, you're terrible, this is bad. And I just want to help you out. So please don't take offense to any of the things I might say. And hopefully you can understand that I'm coming from a place of service and wanting to help. I'm really excited. And I think that Bernard says victim study. Bernard, maybe. Thanks, Pat. The website will look very familiar. Cool. Stoked to see that. Little background on microgreens. Microgreens, for those of you who don't know, are when you take a seedling and you sort of harvest it when it's still in its sort of microgreen form before it turns into the full plant. I recently, in fact, got involved in this thanks to a gardener here on YouTube, Kevin, over at Epic Gardening. He has a microgreens video. I don't know if you have do you have a YouTube channel as well, Brian? Because microgreens are very fun to look at, and it's a fun, very YouTube-y kind of thing to experiment with, right? You could see before and after. You could see, you can get up close in the soil, and it's a very visual thing. Gardening is very visual. I'm looking forward to the visuals on your website, and it's a very fun hobby. And we just harvested a round of sunflowers, just little tiny one. They have this beautiful nutty flavor to them. Anyway, I'm really stoked to go into this. So let's go into it. I see manis as well, so I'm gonna write that down. And again, this is in no particular order. It's just kind of what captures my eye as I go into the chat here. Cool. Let's go into it. I'm gonna go to Microgreens entrepreneur.com. Now, the benefit of microgreens, or just anything entrepreneurship, is that you are able to really, really help people when you talk about entrepreneurship. Whether you're helping people build businesses or you're helping people create microgreens for business, right? This microgreen thing is not just a hobby. In fact, there's a lot of people I know and I found on YouTube who are making tens of thousands of dollars a month doing it. So I'm really excited to see how you pull out these success stories, because I think this is where most people who teach entrepreneurship actually lack, is how have you helped others create these businesses or helped yourself? What's the story like? And again, I'm going to dive into it in just a moment. But one thing that really helped me when I first started was sharing the story about how I built my architecture business online, right? That was something that helped me stand out, was my own story and proof that what I was teaching just wasn't regurgitated information from others, but it was in fact applied and from my own experiences. And even though the principles were the same, the website was not the same, because nobody had the same experience I had building the architecture business that I had built, right? So I eventually found out so quickly that the more I showed case studies, real life case studies, things that I was actually doing, the more people would resonate with that, because other people were just posting stuff that other people were posting without any real proof. So I'm looking forward to this. So first impression, let's go. Appreciate the color green, right? I'm gonna hide my picture here. Green is great, right? Love the look of this, the feel of this. This is very much based on what I'm imagining my Build Your Own Brand course, a free course that you can check out, smartpassiveincome.com/buildyourownbrand. But it looks like that this is the same format or website design, which is really cool. So I like how it's being used here. Probably one of the best applications that I've seen of the free template that I offer and how you've designed it. And of course, you've probably customized it a little bit. So learn how to start a successful microgreens business. Very clear on what this is doing and who it's for, right? Get your free beginner's guide here. Love the microgreens in the background. What is this, like radishes, I think, that I'm seeing in the background here? Doesn't matter. We're seeing sort of the results of this. The one thing that is kind of lacking in the photo is, although this is a photo of microgreens, it doesn't really say business, right? So I think beyond this photo, although this is a great close-up photo of microgreens, like this photo is exciting to me because I see not just you, Brian, but I see like the trays in the back, how this business is structured. There are shelves and trays and things, right? So there could be a way for you to get people even more excited about microgreens by not just looking at the actual product itself, but the mechanics and the behind the scenes of the business, because that's what's really exciting about this photo, Brian. It's like, oh, this is the operation here, right? So just wanted to, rocket pad or arugula, cool. Again, I don't know my microgreens very well. It's just a hobby for me right now. Okay, free beginner's guide here. Learn how to start. Free beginner's guide. Cool. That's like all signs point to this, right? This is where you want people to go. I think one thing that you could do with the beginner's guide link here is if you could include in some way, and I know you might be limited to the template that you're using, and of course this is a great start, by the way, but whenever you're offering some sort of guide or something like a lead magnet, people love to see a version of that or a 3D sort of model of that, right? So there could be a cover version that you could create of this that sort of like is lined up next to it. Click here to get your free guide, and maybe even 1 or 2 bullet points next to it. I know it's perfectly centered right now, but you could have even just a nice another rectangle that shows the copy of the book, like the virtual copy. I know it's a PDF file most likely, But I want to see what happens when I click here, and then I have a resource for you to create a 3D cover. Or I'm going to find a resource for you. Get your free Microgreens business guide today. This is cool. Did you open on a new page? You did. That's a smart move. Get your free Microgreens. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is hot. So you already have a 3D cover. Free Microgreens business beginner's guide today. So I could see just like something that just shows this. Get your free Microgreens business beginner's guide today. Right here, maybe more rectangular with the button next to it. Because now I'm seeing something that looks, I mean, this also is an authority play. This showing that you have some sort of resource is an authority play in the space that you're in, right? So I would share that right on the homepage and, you know, have people come here. I would have the name and the email sort of higher up as possible. I would maybe put one box here, name and email to get it. The box should say, get my free guide, perfect. I would have a version of that here, and then if you want, and again, you don't have to, but I like not having to scroll down to get to the thing that I want, right? Name and email right away. And I would put first name first. This is just traditional. I would see if I could switch those. I see email first and then first name. Traditionally, it's first name and then email. You don't want to have people, and again, this is not a huge deal. This is all looking really good so far, but let's flip this so that people often will put their name here probably by mistake and then put email, and then it's not going to be working out great. Get my free guide. So anyway, just really great so far. And again, you're using the same image back here, which I think works better here. And I like seeing sort of like behind the scenes operation of business-like related to these things as a background up here, if that makes sense. Cool. What is Microgreens Entrepreneur? What is Microgreens Entrepreneur? So Microgreens Entrepreneur is the website, or, you know, just the, I don't know, what is it? The grammar of this, although I know it makes sense because your business is named Microgreens Entrepreneur. I think that, yo, Kim, welcome to Team Flynn Gold. Thank you so much for joining. And great comments from the chat here as well. I love that you guys are helping each other out. There's so much more feedback you can get from the chat here beyond just me. Now, what is Microgreens Entrepreneur? I would change this because this is like, number one, grammar-wise. I know it makes sense grammar-wise because Microgreens Entrepreneur is the name of the brand. But to me, it could also be, what is a Microgreens Entrepreneur? Because it doesn't have to be your brand. Or if it is about your brand, maybe something that's a little bit more, something that's going to speak to me versus, like, here's how I can help you start a business right now, or something that, again, ties a little bit more to me, because this is this is so small, but it's so important. What is Microgreens Entrepreneur means, hey, let me tell you more about this website and why it exists, versus, hey, let me tell you what I can do for you, right? So this is big because this is literally the where my eye goes. If I do the squint test, my eye goes to either learn how to start a Microgreens business, which is great. I love the animation there. That's perfect. And then my eye also goes to this. And I think what is Microgreens Entrepreneur is not as strong as, let me tell you how you can get a Microgreens business up in less than a month, or something like that, right? Something a little bit just like, wow, it draws me down the page. Love this photo again. I would love to even see more of this in the background. If like this is a close-up photo, I would, again, the Microgreens business is super fun visually, so I want to see more of that. Let's see. How are you doing, Brian? I know I'm dumping a lot on you, but thankfully this is recorded and you can check this out. And again, this is great for everybody as well. So I know I'm going deep into what Brian's doing here, but this is helpful for all of us. Thinking of starting a Microgreens business, looking for the best information around. I think that starting with something like, maybe you know they're already thinking about Microgreens business, right? And again, now we're getting into copywriting. People are already thinking about Microgreens business. I think you hit them hard with how a Microgreens business can help them. So I would say something like, starting a Microgreens business, even from your own home, can yield more money than you might be making in your career right now. Hey, my name is Brian, and the aim of Microgreens Entrepreneur, that's fine, is to help you start and grow a successful Microgreens business as quickly and hassle-free as possible. There is the benefit of being on your business and brand right now. Quickly and hassle-free, right? Quickly and hassle-free. I would bold that, because that's huge. Oh, a business, this is going to be hard. No. I'm going to help you get up quickly and hassle-free, right? Growing and selling microgreens is a fun and rewarding business, and you can have your microgreens business set up in just a few short weeks. There it is, boom. I'd love to be the one to teach you how to do it. I'd love to be the one to teach you how to do it. I understand that, but let's get a little bit more honed in. You're at that point now where we can flip this copy on its head, right? This is similar to this, and this is such a common thing, Brian. So again, I hope you don't feel like I'm picking on you here, but this is why we're here. We often go, "Oh, I would love to help you," but that reminds me of one time I went to the mall and I saw, at the mall there's like a cork board where people put up their businesses and you can pull out the little tabs on the bottom. There was one for a person trying to get people to hire him to walk their dog, a dog walker, right? And the pitch was, and I love looking at those because I'm like, oh, is that how you're going to get business? Some are really great, some are not so great. This one in particular, I should have took a picture of it because it just demonstrates just this thing that we think we need to say, but it's not what we should say. And this flyer for a dog walker said, "I love to walk dogs. Call me so I can walk your dog." How does that portray the benefits for the person who's going to hire you? This is a very self-serving, like, oh, me, right? A me kind of thing. We need to flip the script. I would do something like, your dog needs a walk. You don't have time. Let me help you. Like, just very clear, right? If that makes sense. So even though this is like just one sentence here, I would flip it to, you can do this, and if you're if you're confused, don't worry because I got your back, right? Or if you're not clear where to get started, no worries, I got your back, right? So again, focusing on the emotions that a person might be going through, and then how you can help them versus, hey, I'd love to be the one to teach you, right? Listen and learn. Okay, so the podcast, cool. Love that you have a podcast, YouTube channel. We're gonna dive into the YouTube channel. I'm gonna open up in a new tab. Cool, and it just started, which is great. And you can see even just 3 videos a few months ago, 373 subscribers, dude. You need to come up with some more videos if you can, because this is absolutely on fire. For 3 videos, starting 6 months ago, and already 373 subscribers. Dude, you're in a perfect position right now because people are starting these things right now for several reasons. Number one, we're all locked up at home anyway. Number two, this is a very low investment business. I would mention that. This is like probably a question that people have is, how much money do I need to get started? Like, I would literally have that like somewhere on the homepage even, just to kind of get people into your content, right? Maybe there's a podcast episode that's all about that. Put the player on your homepage if it's not there already, and just go, hey, let me answer this question for you, because this is, I guarantee, probably the number one question that people have. How much money do I need to get started, right? Microgreens, macro results. Just kind of made it up. Love the picture here on the YouTube channel, by the way. It's the same sort of picture, same things. I would see if you can get on the YouTube channel here, a higher resolution version of this image, as well as maybe some tagline or something that you can add underneath, like, helping you start your microgreens business right from your own home so you can make extra money or something like that. But yeah, I would encourage you to keep coming out with videos. But again, people are creating these businesses now because, number one, we're all locked up at home. We're looking for hobbies and ways to make extra money, right? People are looking for extra money. Some people are literally getting laid off and trying to potentially start their own career doing this potentially. And just think about all the people who you could help and lives that you could change as a result. Anyway, let's keep going. Love that you have the latest content here. Click read more to expand the posts and start learning. So podcast episodes, great. Again, where do I start? So I could start on the free beginner's guide, but maybe I don't want to give you my email address yet, right? How might I dig into your content the easiest? I would probably say it's going to be your most popular articles. Maybe you have an article that's how much do I need to get started right now? And that's going to be sort of your bait, if you will. And you don't want it to be a bait and switch. You just want it to be bait, because you know that this is probably the biggest question that people have. So this is a smart exercise for all of us to do. what is the number one question people have, or the number one objection people have in our business? Give them that answer, right? This is very similar to a man named Marcus Sheridan, the sales lion, as he's known, but he has a pool business. And in the pool industry, all pool people just online everywhere don't share the price of their pool. They want you to have a call with them first so they can give you an estimate. But he flipped it and he said, you know what? This is the most common question we get. We're just going to push information out there on the internet and just answer that for everybody. And this is what put him on the map. The fact that he was just being so upfront with how much everything would cost. I would have an article written, if you don't have one already, ready. Scooby Life says, I have more ideas because of this. Awesome. Glad that you guys are getting takeaways from seeing other people's stuff too. So this is great. But I would say, again, the biggest question people have is like, how much money do I need to start, or how much do I need to invest? I would even put this right here at the bottom of this. Even honestly, like the podcast and YouTube channel are great to put here. But honestly, a very specific article, you might just go, hey, the most common question I get, which you're probably thinking right now, is how much money do I need to invest to start a microgreens business? In fact, if you go to Google, let's go to Google and have some fun. Microgreens. Let's go back here and add an asterisk. How to grow microgreens, how to best grow microgreens, how to grow microgreens indoors, how to grow microgreens at home. Let's try, how much do microgreens sell for? How much do microgreens sell for? Yeah, I mean, just all this should be there, right? In some way, shape, or form. But anyway, what I was saying is down here just being like, hey, number one question we get, here's our answer. And on that blog post, if you don't have that already, which maybe you do, maybe it just needs to be brought to the surface here on the homepage. Legit, like, here's the plan to get started. I'm not going to give you all the details here. I recommend you download my guide to get that. But here it is. Get 5 trays for this much money. Buy seeds here. Click my affiliate link, right? Number 3, follow the instructions here to make this happen. Number 4, and of course you're mentioning all the pricing and all the stuff that happens here, and you can have like even like a little back of napkin looking photo to show like how this is all put together to, again, make that feeling of like, ooh, we're kind of building this business together kind of thing. And then just at the bottom, like, hey, total cost to just get started small is $55. You're going to blow people's mind, like literally blow people's mind, right? When you go, oh my gosh, it only costs $55. I mean, when I started, I mean, I don't have a microgreens business, and obviously you can scale this up, but I bought 10 trays from, gosh, I can't remember the name of the website, but it was through an affiliate link from Kevin from Epic Gardening. And I bought some seeds. I mean, it was literally under $50 just to get started. And then, of course, you can then paint the picture of, and again, oh my gosh, another thing you could do is like, when you go to the store and you see those little like plastic, it's like such a waste of plastic, by the way, the plastic things with the sprouts in them. And there's like just like a small handful of sprouts that goes for like $4.99. Having a very clear picture of, $4.99 at Sprouts, which is a store here, like at the grocery store, versus boom, like 2 pounds of this stuff in one harvest. You can just do the calculation, right? Now, of course, people are going to go, well, how do I do that? How do I actually sell these things? Do I need a license to do this? How do I package them? Oh, all those details, no worries. Subscribe to my podcast, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I share all the ins and outs of this. Subscribe to my email list, etc., right? So yeah, minimal cost. You could even have like, gosh, this is so great. You could have like a just want to dip your toes version. That I wouldn't call it that. Maybe testing the waters, or let's go all in, right? And then just all those sorts of things could be good. I was told that most of that plastic they're using is floating in our oceans. Yeah. So again, if you even take this even further and go, hey, we also believe in using recyclable materials. We also believe in, there's the soil cost too. I guess that was added on as well. Although I don't know if you teach hydroponics or anything like that, which has additional costs, or just sort of light. Anyway, you could have a light version and a heavy version. And then you can also kind of dive deeper into things that maybe you believe in. Hey, we believe in recycling. We believe in, not using as much plastic. So here are the recommended packagings that I think you can get. You can get them on Amazon for this price here. Click on our link. I mean, there's so many things that you could do related to that, which is really cool. Anyway, sorry, Brian. This is perfect timing because I've just now recently have experience with microgreens, so I'm able to help you out here. Let's keep going. Podcast stuff, great. Latest podcast reviews, I think that's really smart. I don't even do that. I should do that just to get kind of, again, convince people. And again, I'm down here. I want to know how to subscribe to the podcast. I would have a link to subscribe to the podcast right below, or maybe if I go to the podcast page, I would have a link to this page that comes from Buzzsprout down here, since you're selling the podcast at this moment, and you can go there. Let's grow your microgreens business together. Awesome. Click the button below to never miss our latest Microgreens educational content by subscribing to our newsletter. Subscribe. This takes me to... Where is it taking me to? True Leaf Market. That's where I got my stuff. Subscribe to our email list to keep up to date. Okay, so this is I would have this either open on a separate page, because now this is this is a lot of info, and I might get scared, and then if I leave, I'm gone. So I would open that on a separate page, or in fact, I would just have that be the same thing as this. I wouldn't even sell the subscription to your newsletter. I would have that. I would have the call to action down here again be another, like, now I've absorbed your information. Now I'm at the bottom, and I'm gonna go, hey, give me that guide now. I would promote the guide again at the bottom here. Good stuff. Okay, free beginner's guide, microgreens growing equipment. I want to check out your resource page here where you're selling some stuff. Equipment needed. Cool. I would have okay, so you got the guide there again. That's smart. I want where is the link to the guide though? Have a link. Oh, this is the link. If I click on this, yes, it is the link. Have it open on a separate page, and have it include a button on this image. Like, you don't have to actually create a button and put it in HTML. I would just design a button on this particular image so that people can click on it. I think it's cool that it's there. That's no problem that it's there. It's your own resource, and that's fine. This is a little bit, is this a basic microgreen setup? Like, this could potentially cost way more. I don't know if you have a beginner's version or something, but again, we were talking about like just starting out testing the waters, because I think the other cool thing about this, Brian, is like even just literally getting like 3 trays, 1 pack of seeds. I know you're not getting the shelves and the lights and all that stuff yet. It's such a fun and quick thing to see results from, right? So maybe your recommendation is, hey, before you dive into this business, get a tray, test it out yourself, because I don't want you to invest a ton of money into something maybe you're not interested in yet. And I think it's really important for you to have this experience with the product first. Serve yourself a salad with some really easy microgreens to grow. Here's a basic salad mix I recommend you get from True Leaf Market, and a few trays, and we can add to this later if you enjoy it. And what's really cool is you can have maybe like a 10-day sort of email list, like a separate part of the email list where, hey, if you just bought these things, subscribe here so I can help you as you go along. Right? And I'm going to give you a day-by-day thing so that by the end of 2 weeks here, you're going to have your harvest, and probably even your harvest before that. So that's really cool. I wish I had that. I wish I had, because I kind of just dove into it not really knowing what I was doing. I just saw one video and I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. But if I had questions like, oh, how do I know when to water again? How do I know when to harvest? Is it too, what happens if some of the seeds don't germinate? What happens if I have like a corner of my tray that's like not actually going, but the other ones are? You can sort of, in this email sequence, as people are experimenting, and then what happens is at the end, people are going to go, whoa, I have, like, check it out. I have my first round of harvest from the things that you taught me to do. And you can even collect photos from people, put them in a Facebook group or some other community, and your people are sharing with each other, and you've just helped people unlock their first tray for free. And now you go, hey, you know that tray that you made there? That tray could probably sell for about $60. And if you you could sell to your neighbors and your friends, and I'll show you how to do that too, but that's my program. So if you want to build this out into a full business, now that you know that you can do this, because you probably thought that you had a brown thumb and you suck at this, but guess what? You did it, chew on it, eat it. Like, all these questions can be answered as we go across here. Ooh, okay, sorry. I'm a little bit in a flow here. Yeah, how we feeling, everybody? Sorry. Spending a lot of time on this. But let's scroll down. Again, I like how you have bold equipment needed here. I want to see bold for trays. Or maybe even say there's 5 things you need. Trays, seeds, shelving, lights, etc. And you can have what's called anchor links at the top. One for each of them so that people can sort of quickly go down the page. Is that making sense? You have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you click on trays and it comes down to the trays section. You click on shelving, it comes down to the shelving section, just to kind of give people a roadmap on what's this page. It's the nice thing about this is it's very clear what the items are. For me, like entrepreneurship, it's like people starting a business don't necessarily know that they need an email list or they need this kind of resource to help them schedule interviews or any of this stuff. So it's a little bit harder to categorize. You have the pleasure of doing that. You can also have the ability to link to articles and or podcast episodes about certain things like shelving. You know, hey, by the way, here's an episode of the podcast or a YouTube video all about this. Click here. And again, that goes to another page. Lights, great. True Leaf Market, absolutely. I absolutely love True Leaf Market. It's a rabbit hole, people. If you go down True Leaf Market, I mean, geez, I'm probably gonna see Microgreens. So you could go to and link to obviously specific items, I would imagine. So if you were going to do microgreens and maybe like Brussels sprouts, bro. Okay, see what's happening. Where's the one? There should be a basic salad mix or something. Here we go. Basic salad mix. You can link to this page, although it's sold out right now, which is kind of terrible. Again, showing you how in demand this stuff is, right? So anyway, you could link to this page here and just go, hey, this is what I'd recommend to get started, the basic salad mix, click here, right? And they go here instead of landing here and then having to find their way through, if that makes sense. But I'm going to leave this page now because it is an absolute rabbit hole for me at this moment in time. Scissors and knife, show pictures of these things if you can. Water sprayer for sure. Table, yeah. Again, it starts to cluster and clump together. I would, have these things be, bolded to separate them. And of course, if you have sort of a table of contents essentially up top, if you want a 5% discount, Pat, I will give you my code. Dude, send it over, man. Pat's credit card is about to get used. I don't have any microgreens growing right now. We just harvested our last one, and I have more seeds. I have more trays. I want to experiment with different flavors now. So if you want to shoot me that code, microgreens, let me know. I'd love to use it. And this is a really important comment, though, from Fun Will Now Commence. The initial setup needs to be congruent with the phrase quickly and hassle-free, right? Quickly, and this is such an important thing. If you say on your homepage, and again, if it's on your YouTube channel and you mention it in every video, which you should, hey, my name is Brian. I'm here to help you build a microgreens business quickly and hassle-free. Like, legit, that should be your tagline everywhere, right? Because that's like, oh, I could do this quickly and hassle-free. Quickly and hassle-free. Turning microgreens into these greens. I don't know. It's like that maybe is a little bit too internet marketing. We don't want to do that. What was that? By the way, follow me on Instagram because I'm getting so many ideas for these fun little Instagram reels, little 15-second clips inspired, make you laugh in any way. Did anybody see the baby entrepreneurs one I just did? It was super funny. Quickly and hassle-free. Everything that you, especially for the beginner, like, hey, here's the quick start guide. Again, helping you do quickly and hassle-free and everything. Like, if there's something that you now include that's complicated, now it's going a little bit against the grain, and you don't want it to go that way, right? So thank you, Fun. That's so important. Let's see. Anything else here? Let's go into a post, for example, or a podcast episode. Will my microgreens grow a second time after harvesting? My understanding is that wheatgrass will. You can harvest and it'll continue to grow, but most other microgreens will not. I don't know if that's the right answer, but in this episode we look at, so you have the player here from Buzzsprout, which is pretty cool. I would have, so you have links and resources mentioned. Oh, MGES or MGE5. Got you. Got you. You're getting some love today. Does using your code give you credit? I want to make sure, or else you want me to, unless you want me to use a special link, let me know. Happy to help out. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. In this space, podcasting is probably not going to be as big as your YouTube stuff, and I would definitely, on your YouTube channel for sure. And I would have, again, if possible, link this to a new page. If this isn't, oh no, this is fine. This is still on your website, so it's good. How to grow cabbage microgreens, cool. If there was a way to see these videos without potentially trying to have to click, so if I click on this, where do I go? So I go to, okay. So it's just like an extra step. Like, what if the videos were just shown here like that? So if you go to, for example, patflynn.com, and I click on YouTube up here, you can see all the videos sort of already just available to you, right? The title and thumbnail should do the trick. You shouldn't have to explain yourself to have people want to click if the title and thumbnail are good enough, right? Because guess what? People on YouTube, they don't see that either. So just having like a library of videos here can go a very long way for you. And maybe even a featured video. If you have like the beginner's guide to microgreens, I would, if I were you, like ASAP on your YouTube channel, the beginner's guide to becoming a microgreens entrepreneur, or how to start growing microgreens for money, right? Get into that keyword, right? For example, if I go here, how to grow microgreens at home. Look at it. This was a video that probably somebody else made. 1.2 million views. How to grow microgreens in your home and make $100,000 a year. Let's play this really quick. Okay, first of all, 1 hour. Trash. I'm just kidding, not trash. I'm sure this is a great video. Obviously, 1.2 million views. You can share maybe higher level the video in a much, much faster way. Quickly, hassle-free, right? Quickly and hassle-free. And no, you're not going to be able to go through every single step because that's in your guide, remember? And on your website, remember? So there you go. Thanks, everybody, for letting me deep dive into that. Brian, thank you for showing up, being a case study here. And Partok says, I watched this video last week. Are you kidding? No way. That's cool. The trick for YouTube videos is keywords in the title, keywords when you start talking in the description. But more than that, watch time. Like, how much longer can you get people to watch these videos more than others, right? And this one is a longer video, and it probably goes into much deeper stuff. But, I mean, look, it's showing this on the front. This is probably a few seconds here, right? And then it goes into this guy, and then he goes here. Now he's showing behind the scenes. And see, this is like a cool little initial setup, like something like that, which I know, Brian, maybe is like, makes you cringe a little bit. But remember, people just want to know if this thing works for them or not. And like, look at how dark this person is. Like, and they got backlighting. Like, you can create something better. You can create something better for sure. Anyway, that's where I would start. Whew. Okay. Let's go to Manny. Let's go to Manny. CallMeManny.com. You go to the right here. Thank you, Brian. And again, I didn't see your answer if the I get a commission when you use the code. Okay, cool. You might see something come in later today because, yeah. All right, y'all, let's go to Call Me Manny. Manny is an R&B singer. He's here in the chat. Let's go to his website. So, mind you, an R&B singer and a website for an artist is going to be much different than something like what Brian had, teaching people information about how to do something, right? If that makes sense. Shonda says, that guy you just clicked on is popular in the raw food community. Yeah, I've come across his videos before. But it doesn't mean, and again, that's an older video. YouTube wants newer videos about things that are more relevant, more up to date. You could even mention in this video, hey, whether you're watching this, and I would absolutely do this, Brian. Sorry, Manny, I'll get to you in a minute, I promise. But in that video, I would go, hey, right now, we're in the pandemic. And if you happen to be watching this video during the pandemic or even in the future, I want to help you build a microgreens business from scratch, quickly and hassle-free. And who knows, maybe this becomes something that you turn into a full-fledged business like myself, or maybe you do it just on the side so that you can make a couple extra bucks so that by the time you get back to travel, you'll have a little bit of extra cash. Join me today. Make sure you hit subscribe, and I'm going to teach you the basics on how to get started, again, with how to build a microgreens business.
This is...
Just kidding. So yeah, there you go. What's up, Mahi? Good to see you here. Awesome. All right, let's go to Manny's site. So Manny, being an R&B artist, my thing is like, okay, I want to know who this is. I might probably come here already knowing who you are, though. So I don't have to do as much like, Manny, my name is Manny, I'm from here and here. I think a biography or some about of you is really important, but this is your brand. And I recognize the font from your YouTube channel and all this stuff, like it's connected to your brand, which is cool. Become a maniac. Dude, love how you are building fans in this way. You even have a name for them. Become a maniac. Email address. I would say maybe even just in little font below, like what do you get when you are a maniac or a maniac, right? Exclusive behind the scenes, early access to music. Like these are going to be your fans. Like let them lick their chops a little bit, right? Like I want them to go, I need more of Manny, right? And so, sorry, okay, so I think that adding a little bit of just teasers of what people get in there is going to be really key instead of just kind of hoping that they'll be excited. You can get them even more excited if that makes sense. Let's see. And then, of course, this is just sort of a link tree for all different kinds of things. I would love to see, and again, people are here for you. Like, I can barely see you here. I would love to see maybe a nice sort of image of you, maybe an authoritative image of you, maybe with another famous R&B artist or you in the studio or something that makes me go, oh my gosh, I want to know what was happening in that moment, or I want to dive into this music. And this can be even below. I would have maybe a bit of your biography on this homepage because I know this is, like, again, a link tree. But people are here. It takes a lot of work to get them here, and now we're already forcing people to make a decision. I would love to have something on this page that goes maybe into a little bit of who you are, something that represents you, something that is really heartfelt and to your fans and to people who are here without having to click through, if that makes sense. So maybe even down to here and just be like, hey, I'm Manny. I sing because I love inspiring people like you. Let me tell you a little bit about my background story, etc. Right? I think that could go a very long way. Can we hear his music? You can find his music here on YouTube. You see his name here in the chat, Manny R&B singer. I don't want to play it here because I'm probably going to get striked for, here's his stuff. My biggest fan came up with the idea for Maniac. I love it. That's so cool. That's so cool. This is, I'm getting some notifications here. What I talk about in Superfans. Sometimes your own fans will come up with a name, and sometimes you'll come up with a name yourself, right? Destiny says, Manny, I feel this website can really use some work. It's a nice start, but you can optimize this page to convert better and to connect with your audience better. And that's really what we want to do here. This is, tell me, Manny, if this is true. This website is so you can connect with your audience better. And likely there's some business-related things here too. So in terms of business, it to me, just the fact that you highlighted this means this is the most important part, which is maybe like hiring you, or I'm not quite sure business-wise, what would you like to happen here, but already I can see a lot of people in the chat who are stoked on helping out as well. But you can see the music here. These buttons look very, the rest of the website, even just on the homepage, looks really up to date, and the buttons look like MySpace. I think we can update the buttons, and some of these, like even like the text is a little bit above center, so it kind of just looks, it detracts from how beautiful this website looks already in the feel. I think that we could update the array of buttons and how they look here. If I click on calling, let's see what happens. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, okay, I thought that was all on the homepage. So these are your lyrics all on one page. That's interesting. I think that it might benefit you to have them all in separate pages, one for each song. That way Google can find them a little bit easier, if that makes sense. Calling. What? So I clicked on calling. Again, I'm not sure what this is. I'm here. It's blue. I'm going to click on it. And apparently it's a song, right? Which, again, I didn't know that that was a song. And it would be cool if this, again, was on a separate page. You're like calling, hey, for those of you here, this is my most popular song. Click here to check out the video of the song here, or even have the video embedded here as well. And then, hey, I have the lyrics for you below. And what I've always wanted from an artist, from a fan's perspective, is I want to go to, you know, back in the day, who was I a fan of? Blink-182, right? And, you know, you get the album, you get the lyrics in the song. I'm like, I want to know more about these lyrics. I want to know kind of the history behind them. And I want to get to know this artist even more. One thing that you could do here, if you feel called to do so, that might help you build a bigger connection with your fan, is not just like sharing the lyrics here, which is great and super convenient, but also have the music video up here. But even more than that, like you know, Manny's Mindset, or, you know, in my mind, or, you know, whatever you call it. Just like, I want to know what inspired this song for you. I want to know what these lyrics mean. I want to know like who that girl was, and like all this stuff, right? If that makes sense. So again, I love that this is here, but I think that you could go even deeper. So this is like your full album. It looks like, or all your music sort of in one. I kind of like the timeline though, although the sad thing about the timeline is like, this is all I see until I scroll down. And for fans, they likely would know exactly what to do here. But for people perhaps who just discovered your music, it might not be quite as... I thought calling was like booking calls with you, or booking you to come to their event or whatnot. And if I click on music, I'm going to go, yep, here. And I can go to time, Falling Out of Love. Yeah, even just here on the music page, just be like, my music comes from my own experiences. Click on the timeline below to hear the lyrics from, or see the videos and read the lyrics, and even get to know a little bit more about me there too. I'm not an artist myself like you. I don't have that talent. So I apologize that I'm not able to use as many clear examples as I did with Brian with the microgreen stuff, because that's very informational, but I'm still just kind of giving you my first opinion. And of course the chat is here as well. And hopefully this is at least giving you some love here, so I'm not sharing the screen. So if I click on music, for example, you know, this might be a cool spot to, this image of you is so iconic. I love it. I love that you're using it everywhere. Branding wise, that's great. I love it. That's the same one as I imagine was here on the homepage at the back. It's just so, I love that. I love that picture of you. But here is where you can include some text about the music and what it means, and click like call to actions for how to use this page. And like I said, maybe within here, it could be a little bit more information behind the scenes about the music. I have lyrics and meetings video for the song on YouTube. Cool. I love that. So pop it on here. This is all sort of the spot to put it. If that makes sense. Let's see if I click on biography. This is where you might want to use a different image. Not up here, because this image is just iconic from you. But maybe down here, just like a nice little behind the scenes, like less staged photo. Just to kind of, again, this is the relationship building part of the business here. My name is Manny. Yep, just Manny. I thought about changing my name 1,000 times, but I figured if Miguel can be Miguel and Khalid can be Khalid, then, dude, I love it. I love the way that you're just kind of talking to me here. I'm an independent artist from Lynn, north of Boston, or Massachusetts, north of Boston. I've been making music for years. Here's a quick recap of my career broken down into chapters. Love it. Again, if you have images here to support this, that's cool too. But I love that. Let's go back to your homepage. Videos. Probably your YouTube channel. Cool. Dude, you changed this. This looks great. You have your songs there. Look, he's rolling. Almost 10K subs. Keep up the good work there. Thumbnails, looking really good. That's one thing I remember about you. You were okay with sort of getting in front of the camera outside of your music, outside of your art, and just connecting with the audience. That I don't find as much here in the same way. And again, the thumbnails here are fantastic. That would stand out so well if you pop that here into your music, or perhaps another page where you can get into that. This is really cool. Merch. Merch is really important for artists, especially for fans who want to kind of dig in and support the artist. It's a great way to provide support and also get some cool swag. New arrivals, dope. Dude, I love the fanny pack, man. You should call it a manny pack, honestly. It should be called the manny pack. Or maybe that's what... You don't have to change the name of anything. Just like when you talk about it and when you share it. Yo, Ecamm Live in the house. Hey, thanks, Ecamm Live. I am using Ecamm Live right now. Big thank you to you for what you've created to allow me to do this, because you've saved my butt so much, not just in how I'm able to sort of like switch screens and make it easy, but when even the internet dropped out and I come back, like, you rescue me. So thank you, Ecamm. I appreciate you being here. Those chapters are being recorded as YouTube videos in my YouTube channel. Cool. And again, the link between your website and YouTube channel should exist. There should be some way that a person who finds you on your website, maybe through Google, can now discover your YouTube channel. And people who discover your YouTube channel can now come back and find your website, right? So it can kind of go back and forth. These images look really cool. I would imagine that this is some sort of, yo, dude, a Maniac membership platinum. That is dope right here. So this is smart. I don't see a lot of people doing this, but this is really smart. There's going to be a certain percentage of people. We're premiering your Leap into Live video on Monday. Thanks, Ecamm. Thanks for letting me know. Who am I talking to, by the way? Let me know what your name is, because I know you have a few people working over there. The official Maniac membership platinum. This is so smart to do. There are always going to be a small percentage, but a percentage nonetheless, of people in your brand who are going to be crazy fans, who are going to be willing to spend loads of money willingly. Like, they want to support you in that way. And it would behoove you not to have an option for the people in your business like that, or in your brand. So I really, really appreciate you having this and having it be so clear. I think this is really, really smart for sure. And what does it come with? It comes with 30% off all the things, tickets, and additional merch and stuff. That's so dope. Yeah, I would even make this even more clear about what I get when I'm there. This is really cool. Manny, this should be on your homepage. I was literally about to say that same thing. On your homepage, there should be the offer for the like this part of the website right here that I'm seeing. This part right here should be available right here, right on the bottom. It even matches even. Like, it looks beautiful, same colors, etc. That's awesome. And then that would be a nice way to go, hey, here's a preview of some merch stuff. And then they can click into the merch page from there. Video, yeah, dude, this is looking really good. I if I were you, I would look at other artists who are doing really, really amazing things with their website and just get inspiration from them. Don't copy, obviously, but pull from them as far as inspiration. This is what I'm doing for my reels right now. I'm not necessarily coming up with these ideas from scratch. A couple of them I have, but other ones I look at other people's TikToks and reels and I'm like, yo, that's a fun, smart idea. I'm going to adapt that to my entrepreneurial audience, and people are loving it. So you don't have to invent the wheel, and you can just kind of go with what people are already doing. I would also pull inspiration from really, really big artists too. I know Kanye West does a lot of huge things related to his email list. Yes. Taylor Swift does a lot of things related to how she teases upcoming things. That I think she's brilliant at. And so I don't know what's coming next from you too. That's the one thing that I think is missing here as well. Is, okay, Manny, what's coming up next, and how can I get early access to it? How can I check it out sooner before everybody else, and those kinds of things. So yeah, cool. Hey y'all, thank you for today. This was super fun. Manny, keep up the good work. Your music needs to be out there and heard by more people, and your website I would say I would rate it like a B right now. It's actually really, really good, but I think there's a lot of things we can do to improve. And on your YouTube channel, I see it growing. I see it changing based on the last review that we did for your YouTube channel, and that's going really well too. So keep up the good work there. Brian, thank you so much for the opportunity to review Microgreens Entrepreneur, and hope and wish you all the best there. Cool, good stuff. Hey guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we got casual day here on the channel where literally I'm just going to sit down. We're going to answer a few questions. And I think the difference between, I love doing these reviews, but I heard a lot of fun energy. And I think it wasn't just because I was reviewing something that I knew about, right? But it was because I think I'm standing up. And I think I'm going to stand up for these reviews because just the energy flows a little bit better. Tomorrow I'm going to sit down. We're going to put some casual music on. We're just going to do some fun Q&A and just have some chats, tell some stories. Just sit back, relax. So I hope you have a great weekend. Please pop in tomorrow if you can. patflynn.com/theincomestream would be super amazing to go to. And that's the link to remember one more time, patflynn.com/theincomestream. Thank you so much for being here today. Have an amazing day. Stay safe, stay cool, and big shout out and prayers to all the firefighters out there who are working their butts off right now to control all the craziness that's happening in the world right now, especially here in the West Coast of the US. And if you happen to be going through some troublesome times right now, just know that you have a family here in the Income Stream. We are here to support each other. Appreciate you. Thanks for being a part of Team Flynn. And as always, Team Flynn for the win. Peace out, y'all.
This is the Income Stream to help you achieve your dream. All while we keep it clean. This is the Income Stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The Income Stream with Pat Flynn.
Hey, yo, thank you so much. My kids and I will be streaming later today. Thank you, Manos, for asking, at probably around 1 or 2 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/hotcoalsonly. We're going to play some games. There's been a big update in Fortnite. We're really excited to share and play games and hopefully get that dub. So, hey, thanks so much. Appreciate you. And as always, peace out and Team Flynn for the win.
Bruh.